I just realized that my mic has been off this entire time. I'm a dingus. Oh well, I just realized that the Hildebrand questline is not a blue quest anymore. I'm assuming it's because it used to unlock the Manderville weapons, and now we're beyond that point. If it isn't Mavic, then keeping yourself sharp, I trust. Reasonably. Good to hear. In our line of work, you gotta stay in peak condition, be ready for anything. In any case, you picked a good moment to come by. I've managed to recover more data I learned about the experimental subject. I dare say this is the cue for us to lend our investigative skills once more. Seems this criminal had his soul put into the body of a Quahaloa. That's a two-legged wolf, in case you weren't familiar. Prior to that, the man was a notorious vandal who went around causing wanton destruction, targeting everything from shops to government facilities. Didn't even have any grand motive, was for the thrill of it. A real piece of work. Like the sticky-fingered Cyclops, odds are he's up to his old antics in a new body, and is a pawn for our mysterious researcher. Such a fiend wreaking havoc on a densely populated area would swiftly attract attention. If our wolfman were to make mischief, I expect it would be somewhere outside the city. Not have bad reason for a soft-boiled dope. As I say, the fiend's likely to strike places outside Solution 9. Then he leads beyond that, though, so I have in mind to pay one of my trusted sources a visit. Myman's his name, and business and his business is no one ever bugger else's. Come on, he ought to be at his usual spot nearby. Oh, isn't Waymond like the gossip from Ul'dah? That's another AU person. Wyman, does that not remind you of our friend Wyman? Yeah. Literally the thing I just said. I don't suppose we get to meet a Yormond too? I could probably have teleported, couldn't I? Oh, no, nowhere? Yeah, I probably could have teleported. Gods, even looks like Wymond. Core, he could be a clone of Wymond. I've never seen anything like it, except for the time Mr. Poo-Poo made all his clones of the Inspector. There's that Wymond. Let's see if he knows anything about a fiend with an appetite for destruction. And often I see you with company, detective. What can I do for you today? Thrill-seeking vandal in the body of a fiend. Sounds like a recipe for trouble, alright. Now, can't say I've heard any talk of vandalism, neither in or around Everkeep. But there's a hunter who caught sight of a solitary Quahaloa by the barrier recently. Went into Vanguard, but didn't come back out, so we assumed it went into Shaloni. What I'm struck with the most, though, is the queer way it moves. Seemed to be more man than beast, he said. Koalas are fiercely territorial creatures that live in packs. This lone wolf's our vandal. I'd wager my gun on it. We'll head to Shaloni right away. Thanks for... is it Shalawani? I think it's Shalawani. I've heard it pronounced multiple ways. Shaloni sounds correct to me, but Shalawani also makes sense. I should leave Mymond. It's truly uncanny indeed. The resemblance you bear to my friend. His name's Wymond, and information is his stock and trade as well. Not only do we have similar faces and names, but we're in the same brand of business. Bugger me with a lightning rod. You know, you look rather like the detective yourself. Only you're either younger or you have better skincare regimen. Your brothers or something? Ridiculous! Detective Hardyboiled and I are not the least bit alike. Damn right. Don't compare me to this preening ninny. Alright. Didn't mean to ruffle any feathers. You last. Something about you reminds me of the detective's assistant. Takes me back, it does. We should get going. Let's gather in front of Vanguard before heading to Shaloni. Shalawani. Looks like some people need help over here. Yay! That's a fate done for this zone. I still need to do shared fates on Mavic here. I also still need to get all of my dang, whatchamacallums. Demi-Atmas. A wolf fiend is so adorable. With their spiky leg armor and giant sword, do you think they like being scratched behind the ears? What wolf fiend? We chanced to see a Cowhello en route here. They have a rather endearing appearance, I must say. It's been my first time beyond the barrier. Wonder if I can find a quiet bar that doesn't water down its drinks. Oh. Is this Hildebrand not real? Inspector, you're all glowy tingly. Must be the lightning round I hit you with. The after effects can linger a while, I'm afraid. No need for concern from causing discomfort. The lightning appears to have improved my circulation. I feel haler than I have in recent memory. You really are an oddball. Uglops! I must say, Detective, I hadn't expected your hardened self to suffer from a fear of insects. And such adorable ones, too! They're not just any insect, they're Oglops, bringer of deaths and disease! I'm almost positive also the villain's gonna be an Oglop, given what happens in Final Fantasy IX with them. You'd hold yourself now. An egg will set you straight. You fool, you didn't bring any, not a single one, damn it all! Never have I seen such a severe case of egg withdrawal. I think you could boil this, to the good detective's liking? I haven't leveled Culinarian at all, Nashu. I haven't even touched it. I don't trust myself with food. Who is this strange Lalafell who's here? How long do you boil the egg? 20 minutes. I like how they have a stool here specifically because you wouldn't be able to stand there. This ain't another trick, is it? Ah, chance it. Every white, the pungent crumble yolk, like a stubborn old coot who refuses to change with the times. You don't get it, do you? What it takes to survive on the mean streets of Solution 9. It looks like you boil it too long. Anyway, I feel like myself again. Appreciate it. I had every confidence you could aid the good detective, my dear assistants. Come, let's continue on. That Oglop has a villain's mind inside of it, doesn't it? Also, I'm thinking, is it gonna be AU Nashu? Because they mentioned that Hardy Boyle's assistant is gone. So is like AU Nashu going to be the villain of this expansion? It's always a dame. It's always dames. Wherever I go, I always make sure I bring food with me. After all, one can't investigate on an empty stomach. The landscape is reminiscent of Thanalan, is it not? I'm put in mind of my youth when I trained by running through the wilds whilst carrying a chocobo upon my shoulders. I'm curious, is Nashu's stalker around here? This is the outside world. It's gonna take some getting used to being under a sky without limits. Right, we should begin by talking to the locals. Is that a town I see over there? Sheshaneswy Springs, eh? Good place as any. Come on, let's go. Feeling hunger pangs. I wonder if I can get a bite to eat somewhere. I see they drill for ceruleum here, just like at Dandalan. Similarities more than soil deep. An old-fashioned place, this, but it's got a ruggedness that speaks to me. A man could get used to it. Anyway, let's split up and ask around, see if there's been any acts of vandalism in these parts. You learn something, you come tell me. Vandalism? Don't get me started. Some miscreant busted up some of our drilling equipment. I poured my blood, sweat, and tears into keeping everything running, so I'd have me seeing red. Ceruleum's our livelihood, so the perpetrator can't possibly be a local. It's an outsider, mark my words. Oh yes, I heard that a barn was destroyed the other day. Smashed to pieces by all accounts. Why would anyone do such a senseless thing? As a matter of fact, there's been a spate of vandalism targeting barns and equipment. The culprit strikes when no one's around and leaves no trace, so we don't have much of a lead. Baffled as we are, we've posted a generous bounty. Information's welcome too, of course. So if you see any suspicious activity, be sure to let us know. Have you ever chance seen an endearing wolf-like fiend that walks on its hind legs? Hey, managed to learn anything? You're much the same. Our vandal's been busy. By the by, have you seen Nashu? I'm not sure where she's gone. You serious? How can you not know where your own assistant is? We better split up and find her. We know it's you, just admit it already. Hello there, I can use a little help. I say, Nashu, have you been making new friends? You know her, do you, and all the chaos she's been sowing, too, no doubt. Whatever do you mean? I mean, to be fair, Nashu does sow chaos pretty often. Don't play the fool. We saw her polishing them bombs. Okay, so it might not be AU Nashu. She's the one that's been blowing things up. We're taking her in and collecting the bounty. For the umpteenth time, they're not bombs, they're medicine. Yes, verily, they may look and indeed explode like bombs. They are, in fact, potent restoratives. My assistant is not the vandal you seek. It's the stupidest shit I ever heard. Exploded medicine? Let's all take a deep breath now. No need to get us so hot and bothered. We could talk this through, resolve things peacefully. I don't know who you are, but we're done talking here. She's the vandal, and that's that. You stand aside if you know what's good for you. If you're not willing to be civil, then we'll have to settle this the old-fashioned way. Detective, wait! I'm emphatically opposed to violence. I must insist that we resolve this in a gentlemanly manner. These kids wouldn't know a gentleman if he shot him in the rear. Don't waste your breath. You asked for it, old man. You want a duel? I'll give you a duel. Just remember that you had other options. Now we're gonna need witnesses, so let's take it elsewhere. Don't worry your little head. This ain't for the deaf. Ill at ease though I am with Detective Hardyboyle's chosen approach, it seems we must defer to him. Puts on a brave face, but he's nervous. Watch the eyes, he'll rush to finish it. Once I read Smudge, had yourself some poached eggs smothered in tomato sauce, did you? Soft choice for a soft bastard. Not the least bit phased, hard recognizes hard, and even I can tell you're a man who's been to hell and back, even though even I could learn a thing or two from you. Whoa, you kidding me? All this fuss over you and you're having a snooze? You got Moxie, dollface, just like her. Dream sweet dreams now. Still charged with lightning. That's impressive in its own way, but never mind that oaf now. I got a job to do. Old-fashioned firearm like most carried in these parts. Watch the barrel, dodge the bullet. Luscious locks for a roughneck. Don't know what fancy hair treatment you use, sweet prince, but a bar of soap is all I need. I've seen enough. This one's in the bag. It's on the old law. As long as you win, it don't matter how. Who's gonna do the Matrix? It's the Matrix. Okay, that was really good. That was really good. Who the hell are you? What's going on here? That's the way of it. But non-lethal rounds or no, the law forbids dueling in this town. As such, it's to be treated as an illegal gunfight, and the guilt falls on the side that drew first. You lot are coming with me. Now, it seems all this began when they saw the lady with what looked like bombs and assumed she was a vandal. While you don't strike me as a miscreant, I'd like to examine the objects for good measure. I must say, it does look like a bomb. Understandable, if unfortunate misunderstanding. Despite its worrisome appearance, I assure you, good sir, that this is a bespoke medicine that rejuvenates me when I'm feeling poorly. Everyone. That's a bomb, or I was born yesterday. Feel like a new man, as if I could walk upon a cloud. Enough of that hogwash. All this alone doesn't prove she's the vandal. We're gonna keep her in the jailhouse till we know more. Are the meals served? Are there meals served at this jailhouse? Well, that they are. Jeez, totally. See you! I will come for you, Nashu. I will find the true criminal and clear your good name on, this I swear. Why did it have to be Oglops? This is well-being. Not even Inspector Hildebrand can maintain his customary aplomb. I cannot bear to imagine sweet, innocent Nashu behind bars. We must apprehend the true criminal and secure her release post-haste. Sweet and innocent ain't words I'd use to describe a bomb-toting dame, but setting that aside, we know who we're after. We just need to track him down. Number of residents reported sighting an unusual wolf-like fiend. Apparently, it has appeared near a settlement called Lure Them in Your Trousers. Luwatne... I have to imagine that that is very close to how it's actually supposed to be said. Luwatanyawauza. I think Luwatanyawauza is probably it. It's been a while since I beat Tural, still don't know how to pronounce most of these things, and I feel bad about it. I know some of them! Brenda has drilled into me that the first dungeon is Iwe Katumu. That's funny. Meant Luwatanyawauza. Come on, let's see what we can find out there. Honestly, Hildebrand, I kind of do forgive you. They are, for you, very different names. For the people here, very normal names. You're surprised that I have already changed into fresh attire? I fortuitously had a spare set on hand. Insofar as it is possible, one must ever maintain a gentlemanly and dignified appearance. Right, let's question the locals about Wolfman sightings. Should be straightforward enough, so we'll stay together this time. Just say the word and we'll get started. Ready? Lead the way. Wood ovens, eh? Unheard of in Solution 9, we do all our cooking with electrope appliances. That said, smoke might give eggs a nice flavor. I'll have to look into it when I get a chance. Mother used to roast a whole Mygotargus in a giant oven. She was partial to the billies for the flavor, but I found them a little tough. That has no bearing on my own toughness, mind you. Is there another talking point? No. Solid, alright. A wolf-like fiend I'd never seen before. It made off with the sack of vegetables we'd just harvested. It would seem our fugitive was famished. Being a wolf, however, would it not hunt for its own food? Whatever it is now, it used to be a man. Wouldn't be odd if it still ate like one. And if it's keen on hunting, it'd likely keep close to settlements for its meals. You can see the resemblance between the homes here and those in the outskirts. It was a real surprise when our worlds merged 30 years ago. It was just a greenhorn then, and she was still... Never mind. The motif of these dwellings is simple yet elegant. I expect Father would appreciate the artistry. He isn't here, isn't he? What I saw wasn't a wolf fiend, but an adorable little critter. It kept squealing at me as if it was trying to say something. I dare say it's a promising new lead. I have it! This creature's a minion of the Vandalous Wolfman! You and your sop-oiled guesses. I'd heard about a strange squealing critters on TrueView, but I doubt it has anything to do with our case. Also, hang on, let's we can all breathe a little easier knowing Shaloni's safe. This has been our home for generations, and it will be for generations to come. You are not relevant to this quest. I just talked to you for no reason, it seems. Wolf-like fiend. I've seen it south of here. Most folks avoid the area because it's Lunu Kalpia territory, but I go there to gather cactus. And the past few times I did, I saw the creature heading towards the gorge. Even Lunu Kalpias give it a wide berth, so it must be dangerous indeed. Fugitive might be holed up in that gorge. Come on, let's go take a look. Is that a lunar cowpire? The Quahaloa doesn't seem to be here right now, but this definitely is where it laid its head. I can feel it. Let's split up and search for clues. If you turn up anything, you come tell me. Oh! Hello! Oh my, what a winsome creature you are. Had a thirst, did we? Liquor bottle has long since been drained to the last drop. Perhaps it was pinpointed by purloined by the fugitive. Oh, Oglop! Crude words have been scrawled on the piece of paper, and Oglop loiters nearby, as if regarding the paper and you. Oglop scurries off, leaving you to devote your attention to the paper, which appears to contain diary entries written by the fugitive. The sack is laden with vegetables, likely those the fugitive took from Luea and Yawasa. There do not appear to be any more clues in the vicinity. Hardy Boiled will want to take stock of your discoveries. Do we already know that the villain's an Oglop? Like, was there a cutscene? It's been a bit. I forget if there's a cutscene where they already revealed that the villain is an Oglop. But I feel like that's the obvious conclusion. Because Final Fantasy IX reference. Found this empty liquor bottle. What about you? Good luck, Mavic. Good work, Mavic. The bottles and produce must have been taken from Luea and Yawasa. As for the piece of paper, Luwat and Yawasa. These are diary entries, all right. I'll read them out. Another day, good day's destruction. I reduced a barn to rubble in moments, well before anyone was the wiser. My newfound strength is truly astounding. The researcher contacted me. He wants me to put on a bigger show, and will provide barrels of cerulean for the job. This is going to be my tour de force. Since as we suspected, like the thieving Cyclops, the vandalizing Qualo is working for the researcher. But I must say, for him to leave incriminating evidence out in the open, where enterprising agents of inquiry can easily find it, is rather careless, is it not? When he was apprehended as a man, he'd left a diary of his misdeeds lying around, served as incontrovertible proof of his guilt. To do again, knowing full well how it led to his downfall, perhaps he has some sort of clever design, or perhaps... he's just an idiot. At any rate, if our fugitive has barrels of cerulean at his disposal, then we must exercise the utmost caution. The tiniest spark could cause an explosion to dwarf even Nashu's delights, so I ask that you refrain from using your gun. My gun's more versatile than you think. It's capable of converting the lightning it absorbs into other kinds of energy. With the flick of a switch, it can shoot fire and water rounds as well. So push comes to shove, I'll give the Wand and Wolfman a hosing down. Well, now, it's a wondrous gadget indeed. Yet be that as it may, I remain firmly opposed to violence in all forms and elemental aspects. Solving cases in a manner befitting a gentleman, such as the creed of Hildebrand, the agent of inquiry, Inspector Extraordinaire. Soft to the core, if you don't harden up, you'll make the same mistake I did. As a rule, I don't talk about my past, but if there's ever a time to break that rule, now would be it. I used to have an assistant too. She was a lot like your own Nashu, real sweetheart. But she's gone now, killed by the Crime King because of me, because I was too soft. Crime King's descended from a line of mages. Carnelian's his real name, and he can wield powerful magic with a whispered word and a flick of the wrist. Doesn't have to rely on fancy gadgets like ordinary folk. We had him at our mercy, me and my assistant, but he started spinning a sob story like a half-boiled milksop. I lowered my gun. That was all the opening Carnelian needed. He cast a spell before I could blink, and I would have died where I stood if my assistant hadn't left in the way. She wasn't wearing a regulator because she was following my lead. I killed her as much as he did. As such a thing should have happened. I was able to catch Carnelian soon after that, but now the bastard's at large again and it's a fiend's body. When you deal with villains, you can't afford to be soft, or one day you'll lose someone dear to you will pay for it. Now then, we've confirmed the Vandals here. But, what is it that the researcher wants to achieve with this destruction spree? First things first, we need to alert the Dust Watch. They'll want to be ready when the Vandal strikes next. You know where to find them? Husadahui, Right then, let's head over there. Think that the detective had suffered such a terrible tragedy. Struggled to find the words. It's unlike you to be at a loss for words. You're right, my friend. As ever, I shall endeavor to be true to myself. Check something real quick. Yeah, I'm realizing I'm actually 2 patches behind on here. And do nothing. I got a kid at home. They need me. Hi, Nashu. What's up? These tacos, absolutely worth incarceration. I feel like our prison system would be a lot better if they served tacos. Stay strong, Nashu. Soon you will be free. Taco's amazing. Ah, Zulop. What is it? I'll be damned. Just a moment ago, we received a message from someone claiming to be the Vandal. They declared the train's their next target. I was about to dismiss it as a prank, but having heard your report, I'm inclined to believe the threat's real. Then we need to go to Shaloni Station right now. Shalawani Station right now. Shaloni, I don't know. Let me Google. I believe it is Shalawani. Gather my men and hurry there. As for Nashu, it would be best if she remained here for now, I think. Detective, keenly though I feel for your loss, I must reiterate my staunch opposition to violence. Whatever may await us, I believe that we must strive for a gentlemanly resolution. The vandal never used to announce his targets. This reeks like a rotten egg. Thank goodness you're here. Please, you can't let that fiend destroy the train. We're on it. Get somewhere safe. We have you at last. From gentleman to gentlewoman, I suggest you surrender. Detective? Over there, a dame in distress. Of all the times to be out of charge. Give a man a fright, will ya? Hold it right there. Try anything funny and I'd torch those barrels. I filled the room with cerealium, enough to blow us all sky high. There's nothing you could do, so just relax and enjoy the... Huh? We must extinguish the fire! The hell do you think you're doing? I shall stop this runaway wolf train! I fear he's disinclined to stop! They're coming back. And they're heading straight for the engine. If only I could use my gun. I have a gun. feel like the shoes wouldn't be conductive, though. A Manderville man in his electrifying handstand. You did good, Softy. You did good. You as well, Detective. You as well. I was done for. I owe you my life. So you don't know anything either. I'm afraid not. I was only doing as I was told. And the researcher's true objective remains a mystery. Chaos and destruction can't all be for its own sake, can it? If you've learned your lesson, then I suggest you surrender yourself to the Dust Watch. You'll be safe in their care and receive regular meals besides. Do you like tacos? I'll go quietly. Apologies for the delay. I see you have the situation well in hand. This fiend was behind the destruction. We're grateful for your help. Despite appearances, he was originally a man, so treat him like one, eh? Is that so? Understood. He'll be treated with dignity. You're soft, Hardy-boiled, as you always were. Wasn't expecting an interruption so soon. But no matter, the commotion's drawn you all here as intended. You're Carnelian. The villain disguised himself as one of my men and knocked me out. Arrest, I believe, you know. Seems Carnelian's also working for the researcher, and this is just a diversion. What's that bastard's game? Let's head back to, Husadawi for now. We have to set your friend free after all. My men can clean up things here. Alright, let's get the lady out of her cell. Nashu, such an ordeal that must have been. Oh yes, the hors d'oeuvres were quite tasty. Sheriff, we have a situation. A large shipment of cerealium has been stolen from Shishinezui. What? It appears the thieves struck while we were dealing with the trouble at the station. So that was their target. First electrope, now cerealium. What's he need all these resources for? As for Carnelian, he ain't the sort to do someone else's bidding. You can bet he's got his own angle. No matter what it is, I won't rest until justice has been served, and next time, my gun will be ready. You know something about these happenings by the sounds of it? So this extends beyond Shalawani. Even if we have the manpower, the Dust Watch can't go traipsing about in other jurisdictions, so I think it would be best if we left the matter in your hands. Yeah, you can leave it to Hildebrand, Agent of Inquiry, Inspector Extraordinaire. I swear to you, good sheriff, that I shall find and apprehend the villain with grace and non-violent finesse. Well, we'd be grateful. Naturally, my men and I will conduct a thorough investigation of Shalawani. If we learn anything, we'll be sure to let you know. Come on, let's head back to Solution 9. I could use a hard-boiled egg right about now. Maybe even 2. Seems the inspector was a hero yet again. He never fails to rise to the occasion. Now my lightning charge is spent. I feel somehow lackluster. I like this. Like, it feels sort of magical girly almost. Very pastel. Very like it. What's the skirt from? Wintertide. Oh, interesting. Ah, home. I didn't mind it out in the wilds, but for this sentimental old fool, ain't nothing beats this neon-lit city. Now I'll get back to working on the storage device. Checking from time to time in case I found us a new lead. Meanwhile, let us continue along our own lines of inquiry. Pray do not blame yourself for your assistant, detective. The fault most assuredly lies not with you. Oh, what a soft-boiled dope, no. Just take care of your own, eh? So is the Oglop actually not the villain, and is it just the assistant? It's either the assistant or the villain, or the assistant is the villain, which is possible. Meanwhile, in Shalawani... Excellent. Soon the plan will come to fruition. Kaniloka's achievements will be meaningless next to what the heavens have gifted me. You fugitives have served me well indeed. And you me. Here's my gun, are you? Come now, no need to be shy. She's a molt python maximum fitted with a custom shot barrel. Being made of electrope, she can convert her lightning charge to fire rounds and other energies. The double action trigger means she's as fast as you are, and the ambidextrous safety means she's at home in both hands. Ventilated ribs keep her cool and reduce the risk of malfunction when things really heat up. The recoil spring guide rod takes the advantage of a temper, with extra long ejector rod housing serves to... You getting sleepy? Because I sure am. Let's call it a day, shall we? I haven't done anything in particular to say about my alchemy tool. I don't have anything in particular to say about my alchemy tools. Till next time. See ya, Inspector. Yeah, I love this little thumbnail. That's pretty great. I was hoping you'd drop by. Took a bit of doing, but I was able to widen the crack I made in that storage device and yank out a couple new scraps of data. The first file happened to be a record of Carnelian's procedure. Seems a bastard soul was poured into one of those clot-type monsters. They've got an annoying talent for mimicking shapes and faces, which is exactly what Carnelian took advantage of when he tricked us with his fake Kameka. Never fear, Inspector Hildebrand is here. The other file I pulled had details on yet another monster-fied criminal. Zmook was nabbed for repeated vehicular violations, riding his air-wheeler too fast, making reckless maneuvers, endangering others, that sort of thing. According to the data, he's running around in the body of a cactar now. Judging by what we've seen of that researcher's schemes, he'll have dispatched the prickly speed demon somewhere outside the dome, but where? Rejoice, my good Detective Fry. Hildebrand, agent of inquiry, come bearing the very direction you seek. Have it straight from the mouth of the real Kameka that an ambulatory cactus piloting a flying contraption was supposedly observed streaking through the sky on a southerly bearing. Alas, despite hastening to confirm this sighting, our intrepid sheriff arrived too late to see the needle-covered individual in question. The report was summarily dismissed as fanciful imaginings of inebriated townsfolk. The insistent trip of veteran instincts nonetheless impelled me to investigate. Thus did my faithful assistant and I venture further south to question this colorful crowds of Tuliolo. Tuliolo. Yes. There to find sober witnesses eager to tell that of an airborne succulent. They said it was moving at an incredible pace, sat astride a vehicle like ones the mechanical invaders had ridden. So it was last seen zipping past a dirigible before vanishing into the clouds to the south. Alexandria's soldiers ride on air-wheelers, so unless there's another flying cactuar out there somewhere, I think we have our man. Good work. Almost too good, in fact. Over there! Is that a new case I spy? Hardly had to bait the hook. They're the real deal, alright. Although, come to think of it, I don't know why anyone would bother impersonating either of them to begin with. At least the lead seems solid enough, but if we're serious about catching this guy, we need an air-wheeler of our own. Come on, there's a shop nearby that does custom jobs. I go for a nice bowl of custard. Did he say they do custard jobs? This is the place I used to be This is the place I used to be regular here, but I ain't been back in a while. Let's see if they still remember me. Well, well, look who the wind blew in. Monum, come for my steed. That battered old scrap heap. It's been rusting out in my garage floor so long, I doubt it could manage a slow trot, let alone a gallop. Happy to give it a tune-up if you have the credits to burn, but I need you to supply some parts. A new high-voltage battery and superconductor coil at minimum. The chronometer's ticking. I'll see if I can get my hands on a battery, but can I ask you to track down the coil? These soft-boiled dopes wouldn't know a suspension spring from an anti-gravity gimbal, but you, I can trust to find the right part without cracking under pressure. I'm on it, detective. Hardybold seems desperate to get his air-wheeler up and running, so I'll give you a tip. You want a coil quick like, then salvaging the rides of defective sentries is your best bet. I'll even lend you this handy gadget to help you out. Set off the distress signal on the west side of Old Alexandria, and you'll soon have some murderous mechanical company to dismantle for parts. I'll take these two along with me in the battery hunt. Good luck out there. Also, let me swap. There you go. New location. 19 whole experience. Maybe that wasn't worth it. Oh, you can't actually go in the water here. Okay, that's a high enough. I'd have been faster to hop to the Arcadian. Got your hands on a coil? That should do the trick. Now, where'd your mates run off to? Can't be that hard to find a store what sells batteries. Probably should head over to the Nexus Arcade, see what's keeping them. Mono's been working like a Malala possessed lately. Hearing about your exploits really got him fired up. Have I met this man before? Party World's taking a sweet time buying a battery. Funny, he doesn't seem the type to window shop. Mavic, any trouble picking up that coil? Nothing you couldn't handle, I'd wager. As for the battery, I bought one easy enough. The problem was convincing the inspector and his gal to stick around after he caught a whiff of a tantalizing familiarity. Long story short, they wandered off and haven't come back. So we ought to go look for him, eh? Is it the AU version of the zombie? Is it AU zombie brand? Is that a corpse? A smiling corpse? Don't you need detective the Stapper zombie is an old okay, it's the same zombie brand. I wasn't sure if it was like the Alexandria's version. Let me introduce myself, good sir. I'm a proud member of the Gentle Dead Men and a disciple of Master Zombie Brand. I've been on the road seeking new recruits for our merry moldering band. Said search is what brought me here and into the midst of this unexpected yet most unwelcome reunion. I don't usually hold with necromancy, but he seems harmless enough, so, done catching up, we got a case to work on. In actual fact, our conversation was almost entirely case adjacent. Employing his nose for festering fellows, this gentle zombie traced a stench of necromantic decay to the very facility in which I once slumbered. Yes, I became fast friends with one of the reanimated researchers there. During the process of getting to know each other, he spoke briefly of the only person left alive after the incident. According to my new charnel chum, all the lab workers perished when an accident resulted in the leakage of a highly toxic substance. All, that is, save for a single man who habitually wore protective gas masks. Kishkai is his name. He was second in charge after the overseer himself, yet disdained by his peers as a condescending know-it-all. They did, however, grudgingly recognize his passion for his work. Even after devoting a full day to official experiments, he would pour his remaining time and energy into some mysterious side project. And he was the sole surviving researcher, you say? Sounds like we finally have a name for our mastermind. Courtesy of the shambling undead, no less. No matter how many years I do my job, well, thanks for that. Glad to be of service. Now, if you'll excuse me, my new recruit and I have a cafe tour planned. Is there like a group of zombies just off screen? No, it does not look like it. So that fellow was an honest-to-God's walking corpse, huh? Met weird folk in my line of work, but you do always keep company. Do you keep company with such? Do you always keep company with such oddballs? I was out of line. It's just, I reckon there'll be forces in this world you're better off not messing with. Anyway, let me take these parts back to Modem and get my wheeler repaired. Shouldn't take too long. I'll ride him back here to make sure he's running smoothly, and you can see the magnificent beast in all his glory. Oh. There's the stalker. Our gentle zombie friend was as reanimated as ever. Detective Hardy-Boiled seems somewhat nervous, excited to reclaim his pride and joy, perhaps? Core, would you look at that? What do you think? I call him Night Stallion. He's a custom job built for yours truly, and he has far too much horsepower for an average mook to handle. Anti-gravity capabilities are standard, but when it comes to ground speed, he's been tweaked to achieve the highest possible performance. The trick is to install quick heating motor coils. Well, won't the increased heat compromise the magnetic field's integrity, you ask? Well, that's a valid concern. A hotter drivetrain responds completely differently when you open up the throttle and... You, get those filthy hands off my ride. I merely thought to enhance your beloved steed with a touch of Salamanderville. So you had an amazing machine this whole time? Why haven't you been riding it until now? So fresh-faced and innocent, the spitting image of my assistant. I'll never forget the day I hung up my spurs. It was right after I'd caught Carnelian. I've been simmering in thoughts of vengeance, fit to burst my shell at any moment. Sir, you're not allowed to drive mounts inside Solution 9. Of course he does the Akira slide. Yep, the big house is too good for the likes of the Crime King. See ya in hell, your majesty. Should have pulled the trigger while you had the chance. You've gone soft, hardy boiled. This flashback exceeds the legal length. Laced with illicit embellishments, no doubt. Wrap it up, Gumshoe. To cut to the chase, my assistant was avenged. Slinging the crime key into the slammer took me off boil, and riding cold just ain't my style. But now that Carnelian's on the streets again, it's time for me to get back in the saddle. They were saying that Cactar punk flew over Tuli whatever, and then blew past Dirigible on the way south, right? What kind of territory we're looking at? Lots of big trees there. And let's make this Yaktel's Dirigible landing our starting point. I'll take the Night Stallion and meet you there. I wish I had a shiny air-wheeler like the detective. I'd finally be able to keep up with the inspector. Right, we should find our way to this cocktail dirigible landing. I'll see you there. Pretty sure it was Yak's Tail, Inspector. That was my first time aboard a dirigible, which is not so different from an airship, if said airship had jettisoned its own means of propulsion. Sailing through the air is a lovely way to travel. Ah, you made it. Even this jaded old gumshoe had to appreciate that view coming over the treetops. Anyway, I talked to the locals while waiting for you to arrive, and one fella had seen Mr. Cactar flying down to the lower forests. I'm told the biggest place out that way is a settlement called Mamuk. So that'll be our destination. Let's head out over there, walk the streets, ask some questions. You know, the usual. Very good, detective. But what's become of your wondrous wheeler? Night Stallion would draw more attention than I'd like. I'll use the autopilot function to call him if I need him. Otherwise, I'll make do with my own 2 feet. Oh, it's awfully dark here beneath the canopy. Such a dense proliferation of forest giants, I'm reminded of the Twelveswood. That must be Mamuk. They build things differently down here, huh? We ain't got time to admire the architecture. Spread out, find someone who's clapped eyes on that cactar. Why, yes, I did see an unusual creature riding a strange vehicle through the forest at breakneck speeds. The vehicle's terrible noise is what first drew my attention, followed by the incomprehensible yelling of its pilot. Yet the sighting of this posturing man-plant was so absurd I found myself more bemused than frightened. What's glowing? Yes, I've encountered a fiend you describe. The forests share fantastical creatures, but this was one undeniably out of place. I observed it smashing the one of the giant meteorites with a club, and then racing away on the broken pieces. Make of that what you will. Racing away with the broken pieces. Make of that what you will. I slipped on that banana peel and almost went over tail over tea kettle. Could this have been a devious trap laid by our quarry? That banana peel is almost as sparkly as the inspector was. Oh, it's my Porksy. I'm a dingus. He'd be spiky and green, riding a strange flying machine. Oh, Bakulja! The subject of recent gossip. I crossed paths with the creature myself. It was indeed odd, but the machine it rode upon was a true wonder. So is this like a relative of Bakuljaja? Or do they just conveniently have the same name? He pulled up alongside me in my, on my waver. Is it Wyver? Wivery? Challenged us to a race and then zoomed off with an astounding swiftness. If you're planning to catch that fiend, you'll need an equally miraculous mount. So, what's the rap? The testimonies I gathered were very much the same. There's a cactuar racing out there. That much can be certain. But if he was making stops to bag meteorite fragments, this ain't no simple joyride. Talk to me. Something about those rocks I ought to know? Some kind of special etheric radiation, eh? We haven't pieced together Kishkai's big plan yet, but he seems real interested in those space stones. Which means we got a good chance of finding his spooky goon by stalking him out in the spots where the meteorites are. If we nab the cactuar, we can make him lead us to the researcher, to Carnelian. When I say us, I mean me and Night Stallion, of course. Once we find him, the rest of you won't be given chase without an airwheeler. I need no such contrivance. These legs have been conditioned to an intensively chocobo bearing exercise through a these legs have been conditioned by, I don't know where I got any kind of T word there, an intensive chocobo bearing exercise regimen. Well, good luck to him. Still think he's a weak-willed punk, but I can't deny that uncanny body of his is made of sterner stuff. Let's get on with it then. I hear there's a few good-sized meteorites along the road that leads out of town. We'll start near at the near end and hope the mook puts up an appearance. Is that clumsy? Is that clumsy oaf trying to hide? Oh. Who knew meteors were so big or bumpy? That's meeting you here. I too deduce this very well may be the scene of our criminal's next crime. No wheeler riding cactuar around here. Let's move on. Idiot. Inspector took off like he had the case all sewn up, but running so fast didn't find him any leads, did it? And here I thought he was onto something. That way now, shoot. I think I may be onto something. Is that adult trying to keep out of sight or not? Is it almost time to eat? If you could endure but a little while longer, Nashu. I am actually getting a little hungry. No sign of him here either. On to the next meteorite. I detect a hint of criminality in that direction. Onward, Nashu. We mustn't let the detective beat us to the punch. I say these bananas are really quite good. Travel tacos. Ah, I could murder an egg right about now. Look out, stand aside. It's 1,000 needles in your hide. Make way for the unmatchable, uncatchable spike. Spy. He's too cool. He's too cool. This one looks right for the smashing. Hold it right there. I'm gonna need you to hop off that air wheeler. You must be the blowhards I was warned about. Think you can give orders to the succulent speedster? My ride is maxed out with black market mods. There ain't no one faster. Keep up if you can, slowpokes. That's the way it's gotta be. Challenge accepted. To me, Night Stallion, it's time to burn rubber. I'm right behind you. And I'm right behind you, Inspector. Yeah! Damn it, the stallion's at full gallop and I'm still trailing. Twould seem you require my assistance after all. What you caught up to me on foot? Change of plans. Where's my damn python? Let's tweak the weapon's elemental settings like so. With your steering and me providing thrust, that fiend will soon learn a harsh lesson. Nothing outruns a fired-up Manderville man. This is great. They're actually gaining on me? Come on, then. I feel the needle for speed. We did it! Victory is ours! Why is there, like, an engine sound? These are powered by electricity. These are e-bikes. Can't believe it. My undefeated record, my legendary win streak. It's over. Where were you racing to, though? There was no finish line. And yet I feel strangely content. Enough. You win. Just hand me over to the coppers and be done with it. So the researcher forced you to work for him, like you did with the other fiends. And that's right. Told me to smash and grab the meteorites from the forest, but not what they wanted him for. All this way to nab some delinquent goon and no leads on Kishkai or Carnelian to show for it. Not to mention my beautiful ride getting thrashed. That one's on you, Hildebrand. Perhaps we could try running together next time. Oh, if you're looking for Kashkai, I know exactly where I'll be, waiting for my meteorite delivery over by the cliffs southwest of here. Why didn't you say that sooner? But I bet Carnelian's there with him. You won't escape me this time. I'll leave this criminal cactar in your custody. Fiendish appearance aside, 'tis a man's soul within, so please treat him accordingly. Now, let us follow the detective to these cliffs, shall we? I must ensure these villains are served a gentleman's justice. The Oglop is also... Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Is the Oglop not the villain or Nashu's AU version, but an AU version of Nashu's Stalker? Is that what's going on here? That's not what's going on here, right? That would also imply that in the 9th, he actually got arrested for stalking. Oh, belly, happy heart. You smell it? The scent of criminality is in the air. I can hear them just up ahead. Let me get the drop on them before we all go barging in. He's late. We must assume something went wrong. These meteorites will provide the perfect energy source, and I would prefer to harvest a surplus, but it's too great a risk to linger here. Freeze, mage. You so much as twitch your lips and I'll light you up. No, I've worked too hard to give up now. He's getting away. He'll keep. I've got the one I want. But don't think that I'm taking you in just so you can escape again. Never again. Murder's not the answer, detective. Well, where'd Carnelian go? I thought he was gonna, like, kidnap him. You almost had me, if not for this bumbling fool you tolerate. Soft as ever. You and me are done, Hildebrand. Stay out of my way. I'm gonna get an Oglop as a minion at the end of this quest line, right? My recent inadequacies as an inspector appear to have earned the detective. My recent inadequacies as an inspector appear to have earned the detective's ire. 'Twas you he turned to for assistance with this case. It's only fitting that you remain at his side for the duration. Meanwhile, Nashu and I shall persist with our independent inquiries. Sorry for the sudden exit back there, but that yolk for brains had me steaming. Hildebrand only wants to help. Problem is, that's the problem. His help ain't doing nothing but a hindrance. He's here too. For the love of... I see you gulking over there, soft-boiled. Isn't this a delightful spot of serendipity? We were simply followed by the villains, following the villain's trail, and look how we've all run into each other, completely by chance. Well, we were only passing through after all. We shall all apprehend that masked mastermind with our own tried and true methodology. You shall see. Mavic, I want you on the case with me from here on out. When it comes to proper guide beyond the dome, as well as being tougher than yours truly, no one else fits the bill. You might need to cool your heels for a bit while I work on salvaging more data, but hard-boiled always gets his fouls in the end. See ya around. Meanwhile, elsewhere... Are you trying to summon a primal? This sure looks like a boss arena for something in the future. At long last, my scheme has come to fruition. No longer must I endure the company of incompetent colleagues. All is in readiness. The replication of my brilliant mind is at hand. Never again will I be known as the Caniloca Corpus' second best. I mean, you already aren't. Everyone else in the Caniloca Corpus is dead. Like, de facto, you are not the second best. Because everyone else has died. My name shall ring across the lands, carried far and wide by an army of unrivaled geniuses. Something amusing. Oh, just the fact that you repaired a device capable of miracles, yet your plans are so very banal. You dare mock me? What a bore he was, now to realize a dream worthy of his marvelous technology. Oh! It's a poo-poo UFO! Oh my god! Oh no, it's the one that Hildebrand must have been riding on that crash landed out here, right? Shock! The drama, the twists! The twists! Detective Hardboiled, they call me. Cool and tough as a cucumber wrapped in old leather, I'm a man who prefers his own company. Today's egg was overdone. I let the pot boil and boil, all to match my mood. They say you can't make a cracked shell whole again. Maybe it's time I smashed it completely. It's absolutely Nashu stuck in that. This universe is Nashu stuck in that Oglop. Core, these are some troubling thoughts. Can anyone save Detective Hardyboiled from himself? I bet the inspector can. With us on the case, a happy ending is never far away. Sheesh, I worked fast and not that fast. Come back after another day, will you? Oh, before you go, do you remember when I said I felt eyes on me? Well, I still feel like I'm being watched. Maybe I do have some addle-headed admirer after all. Is there the Oglop around here? Is the Oglop nearby? Is the Oglop here? It is! And it's standing on two legs. Alternatively, this is this universe's version of Sid. Potentially. If we're going purely based off Final Fantasy IX. But, Anyway, after all that talk about hard-boiled eggs and stuff, I'm hungry. So I'm gonna run and maybe try and find some food. Let's see. Tural is live. How is... Oh, never mind. That's not actively live right now. Is anybody else playing 14? Don't look like it. Let's go. Let me actually just see if there's anybody who's actively playing 14 right now. Or actually, wait, is... No, yeah, no. Let's check and see if anybody's playing 14 right now. Just a new person, maybe. As usual, rating channels purely by first impression of their PNG tuber, if there is one. Oh, this is adorable.
Session didn't res me, guys. I can't believe he wiped because he didn't res me.
Alright, we're gonna go raid Axel Cross. Go on twitch.tv/AxelCross. If you're heading over with us, raid messages you found the missing persons. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. I will catch you live. I'm happy to see that my bitrate seems to have been a lot better this stream. So hopefully everything went well. I reduced the resolution of the vertical stream that I've been using. So hopefully that makes things possible. I'll try next time to do some magic, and I'll see if the streaming my camera complicates things any. But till next time, I'll be seeing y'all later. Thanks for hanging out with me.